Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dot to Dot. Today I'm going to talk about the journey west. And what I mean by the journey west is perhaps the Knights Templars coming from Europe to Oak Island. And this could relate to the Rochefoucauld map. And the reason is because my fellow researcher, Olivier from Oak Island Research, has found a manuscript that was commissioned by Rochefoucauld, and it has in it pictures that encrypted show these paths that come over to basically to Nova Scotia. And this is not a new path. This is a path that has been in legends. The Voyage of St. Brendan back in the, I think it was the 5th or 6th century, made this voyage. And it is possible. And there was actually a man named Severin that in the 1970s did an exact replica of St. Brendan's boat and made the journey across the Atlantic in an exact replica, proving that it is possible. Now, in Olivier's video here, he shows a path that is encrypted into a drawing that is showing this path. And it's very interesting. I'll leave a link in the description. I encourage you to watch it. And there's also another video of his called the Fancy and the Bird. And I'm going to talk about this bird that perhaps there's a connection here. And I'm going to show those connections. But, of course, what I do is I like to do Google Earth. And what I have done is I've mapped out this pretty much the same path that Olivier has put forth in his findings with the etchings, and basically start at Dunwich Beach and go up to Iceland. Also, I want to mention, because in this information that I'm going to show you, it has to do with Henry Sinclair and another man named Sir James Gunn, who supposedly made this journey over to the New World in, I think, the late 1300s, 1394, 1397. And Sinclair was from Roslyn. And of course, we've all heard about the Roslyn Chapel and the possible mystique that is surrounded by this area. So this is along the stop path to come over here. And so, of course, we go to Iceland and Greenland. And then, of course, we go down to the area of North America. And here's Nova Scotia, and this is Newfoundland. Now, the reason I have these areas in here marked is because on one of the maps from the Scrolls of Ontiara book, if I can get that map up here, we have this right here. And I think you've all seen this map. And in this map, we have several spots that are noted, and we think they are stops. And one of the stops is along these islands, 1, 2, and 3. And then there was another stop here, 4, 5, and 6. Why they came in here and stopped, maybe for reprovisioning or for something like that. But also, I want to bring to your attention right here is this symbol. And I've always wondered what this symbol means. Now, I found a connection to this symbol, and I'm going to show you if I can find it here. Look at this symbol right here. Now, this is a picture of a Knights Templar. And it is suggested this is a picture of a man named Sir James Gunn. And Gunn is a clan of northern Scotland, actually the Orkney region, basically up around where Sinclair came from. And it is suggested that James Gunn traveled with Sinclair. Now look at this symbol right here. Doesn't it look the same as the symbol on the map? So perhaps this is like a mark, basically telling us that this belongs to the Guns, or it is from the Gun clan. Just a suggestion. It looks pretty familiar to me. So let's go back to here. Another thing that I noticed is this bird. And Olivier from Oak Island Research had mentioned a bird he had found in the etchings. And I'll show you that right here. I suggest you watch this video. This is called The Fancy and the Bird. And here's the bird here. And let's see, let's go back to the picture. It's got the same head position, so perhaps it is the same. Let's get this right here. Pretty similar. So with this symbol and these two symbols, we have somewhat of a connection here, possibly to the Guns. And it may suggest that this is talking about this connection. Now, another thing I want to show you is on Google Earth. Is this voyage, according to the Scrolls of Ontiara, Oak Island was one of the destinations on the map, and of course right here. And this is basically 151 degrees, a straight shot. This coincides with Olivier's talk about the direct route into Oak Island, and it ends up with the landing at Frog Island. Now, there's more than just a landing spot. The landing means a lot more than just a spot of landing when it comes to the Rochefoucauld map. But that's another story. But let's go and continue on to this journey. And one of the other spots that they mentioned in the maps, now I don't have the map, but there's 4 maps. And on one of the maps, it shows this area right here, which is off the, Cape Cod and the Horn of Cape Cod. And this is one of the stops that is made. And this is the reference to the coordinates that are on the map. And these are in the Scrolls of Ontiara. And these 4 maps also show this. One of the 4 shows this bay right here. And I'll show you that. I have that map, and it's right here. And if we look at the comparison, oops, let me put it back up. If we look at the comparison here, you can see that it's the same bay. And there's several points here that are being mentioned. And one of them coincides right here, number 2, coincides with Newport Tower, which has been long known as possibly a Templar-made architecture. So we have this, and then they have this stop, which is just a bay that is shown, probably a harbor. But the connection with this one is that its coordinates match the trajectory from the boat stone. And the boat stone is basically the same area. You found the boat stone, but it's also the same area as the inscription of what's called the Westford Knight. And this is the Westford Knight, and it is basically this image is inscribed into a stone at the same place as the boat stone. Now the boat stone is a picture of a boat, and it has the numbers 184 on it. And we don't know what that 184 means, but it could possibly mean a trajectory that may lead down to this harbor here. Another thing that's mentioned on this map from the Scrolls of Ontiara are the Wapaho, and Wapaho could mean this Indian tribe. And near this this area of Indians, there's also what's called the Narragasense Runestone. And according to Scott Walter, a lot of these rune stones are basically showing a land, not so much a land claim, but a land right, that they have the rights to use that land. And it may be that this Narragansett runestone was that kind of a stone where it granted whoever knew where it was the rights to come in and associate with the Indian tribes. The other thing is the Dayton Rock, which is another, basically another kind of artifact. You can look it up if you like. And up in here, these are all areas that were on the maps that were pointed out. And what we know of these areas is very little. We have the coordinates of these areas. Most likely they were encampments to move forward into this area. And perhaps this is where Sir James Gunn may have met his demise, and that's why the Westford Knight image was carved on a rock. But that's not the only place they stopped. They went all the way over, and there's maps showing that they went up into this area, and that there's a point called Le Camp. It was on this side of the Montauk. And they went up into, now whether they went this route or went around, I don't know. But up in through the Hudson River, up into this area, which is the area of the Onteora. And this is where they've supposedly have found a couple of caves with artifacts that will give evidence that the Templars did, in fact, go into this area. So this is the story of the Scrolls of Ontiara that Don Rue and Bill Jackson worked on for, I think, over 30 years. And Olivier has found some striking evidence that shows that this journey from here, starting from Dunwich, in fact, did go across and go to Oak Island and then continued on into possibly New York. Well, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.